Okay, yeah. All right. Good evening once again, my comrades in risk and safety, wherever you may be tonight. It's a good thing to have you with us, and welcome back to our monthly branch meeting and CPD presentation. There's not much about what's happening with the branch right now, but rest assured that we are continuing on our commitment to have our monthly CPD, except for some time that it's really difficult to get a speaker, and I cannot be speaking most of the time. You know that very well. I'm always the gap filler. Our former chair knows that very well because we've been working with each other for how many years now. So with Engineer Saif, that I'm always the gap filler. Yes, I'm always ready to talk any risk and safety subject that it's noteworthy to learn from. But of course, this is our branch, and we are encouraging each and every one of you that for the next meetings, if you can have, let's say, even up to 10 minutes of a topic that you can share with us, let's call it a bite-sized presentation. Let me know in the WhatsApp group, and we will consider your presentation so long as it falls within the premise of risk and safety management. So, all right. Tonight, our speaker is a longtime friend and a longtime member of one also of the pillars already of International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, Qatar. He's been a very good friend, not only inside IIRSM, but even outside. So just before I pass the baton to him, let me just inform you that this year, Qatar branch is celebrating, our branch is celebrating our 10th anniversary. We were launched in December of 2014 officially. And so by this December, we are hoping that we can have a good gathering, and we will plan for that in the next meeting. We will get some suggestions from you. And also, just to let you know that IIRSM is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So are you not happy that you're part of a half-century organization already? I'm so happy that I've been a part of this organization without me knowing that this year, next year, 2025, will be the half-century anniversary of International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. So we're planning to come up with some projects, and the first thing that I asked Julie tonight was the logo of the 50th anniversary, because I'm planning to design a shirt. If some of you can remember, we had a shirt before in 2016 when we had a joint conference together with the Philippine Association of Health and Safety, Qatar. So we're planning to have one again, and we will ask permission from Julie and Philip for a go signal. I will design the shirt, and we will put that 50th anniversary logo, and then I will show it to you hopefully in another month's time as part of our commitment to IIRSM. And so, my friends, let's all welcome Engineer Saif. He's been very professional in dealing with each and every one of us, and in his own field, he has his own expertise. And tonight, we're very happy to listen to him giving a talk about human factors in incident investigation. So, Engineer Saif, if you're ready, I'm passing now the hosting to you.
Hello, good evening.
Saif, can you share your screen now? I've made you co-host.
Yeah, I share it actually. Is it not okay? Let me try again. And from okay, is it now?
Yeah, perfect. You just need to pop it into presenter mode, and we're good to go.
So, yes, is it
yes,
all?
perfect.
Is it...
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Loud and clear.
Yes,
okay.
Very much so.
Okay, good evening all. How are you doing?
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, great. To start, my name is Saif, and I am working here in Qatar for the last 18 years. Recently, I joined the Qatar Energy as a senior HSE engineer, and been with the groups with IIRSM, IOSH, HSE Toastmaster group, and different forum. So happy really to present today and to share what I was working on, and also to learn from you and to have a good discussion during this meeting that will aim for everyone for self-enhance, and also we come up together with a proper, let us say, understanding about a human factor and incident investigation. So today we will try to cover human factor definition, incident and accident investigation, human factor and artificial intelligence. We are listening recently about this AI everywhere, correct? So it is very good that we will have integrate this to our safety as a professionals. And the last, we will discuss about human factor design relationship and managing the influence. I have a question and I need somebody to answer, or I need two persons to answer different answers, please. Agreed? So please, I think you can unmute yourself and talk. So my question is very easy. Why accidents happened? Can anybody answer? Briefly, please. Anyone from the audience?
I think I might come in there.
Yes, sure.
I think incident and accident as a result of failure in the HSE management systems.
Thank you very much. Another question, very quickly, please, from the audience.
Good evening. My name is Ali Shirani from Oman. And I think from a point of understanding that this has happened due to a combinations of human factors, also regarding the human errors that we have to perform into anything that we're doing. And especially also we have contributing factors that as environmental condition, mechanics failure, and sometimes the organization issue.
Yes. Great. Any other answers? Anybody wants to share? Okay. So incidents happens. Despite that we have procedures, we have laws, we have compliance, we have training, supervision, management, and whatever. And whenever we have an incident, we are conducting an investigation. And through these investigations, we are finding out the root causes and what is the underlying causes and whatever it is happening, yes? But sometimes, unfortunately, these incidents reoccur again. That's where we are sometimes missed to look for the correct root causes that it will prevent the incident again. And this is happening due to different circumstances, changing of management change, change of environment, new process, and so on. So let us start. What we are meaning about human factor. A human factor, it's all about job, individual, and organization. Okay, and how these three factors are impact the people health and safety related behavior, and how they are interact to result in an incident, to results in behavior, to results in different kind of reaction that it will lead to an incident or harm or injury or near miss. Let's go through these one by one. So for example, in job, it is very important that we need to consider the ergonomic principles. In some areas, you will have that the design is not suitable for the people to work on. Maybe there is a short guy working on a long bench, for example, or there is overreaching, or there is office arrangement. All of this is contributing in the job factor. Overloading, we are seeing in sometimes that the work is being overloaded. The job is being overloaded. The people were work over their limits. Either it is in a shift, either it is in a night shift, extended hours, and so on. Physical match, we need to ensure that this job is physically matching with the person who's doing the job. We cannot have some physical hard activities for people that they cannot do the job. The same as mental match. We need to ensure that the job done by this person is matching with his mental capabilities. He can do the job, he can understand, he have the knowledge, he have the experience, so on. So physical, mental, overloading, and ergonomics all related to the job factor. And mismatching with these between job requirements and people capabilities will indeed have the potential for a human error. And when we will have a human error, we will have an accident or incident. If we go to individual consists of four things: attitude, skills, habits, and personality. And if you want to look at it and understand it, look at yourself. First of all, how is your attitude? Are you accepting people? Are you open with people? Are you easy to approach? Are you having a good conversation with people sometimes? Skills. Do we have enough skills to do this job? Did we get the training required that enable us to have these skills to do this job? Habits. Habits, it is related to individual. Why? Because, for example, some people, they have habit of waking early, for example, okay, or sleeping late. So if you assign someone to work early morning and he have a habit of late sleeping, for sure it will affect him, and for sure it will mismatch or will contribute for this guy to have a human error. Personalities, each one of us in the world have his own personality. And this personality, it will drive your attitude, your behavior, and how you are interacting with others. Understanding the situations, understanding the commands, dealing with your supervisor, deliberate. All of these are all individual, which some people, they can say, oh, this is the guy and how we can deal with this guy. No, we can change this guy. We can work with this guy to be better. We can change his attitude, impart some good habits in his life, for example, work in his skills. So everything is possible, but you need the attention to do this. Organization, which is the most important, and I know that everyone will agree with me on this. If you have your management, your top management supporting the safety culture and the safety compliance in the project, you will have a better and strong safety culture in the project. If you don't have it, if the top management is not supporting, it will be struggling to implement the safety procedure all over the project. So it have the greatest influence on individual and group behavior. Let us consider that the organization, it is not starting from the implementation. So you will have in the background, you will have the design, the feed, the decisions that it is done, the risk assessment that it was done, then the implementation of the project. Positive health and safety culture will be implemented and grow if you will have a good support from the organization. Why we are talking about human factors and why it is important. Personally, I involved in some investigations, and unfortunately that it is said from the beginning of the investigation, it is the operator mistake. The operator did not consider the distance. It is the carpenter mistake. He hammered his finger, for example. So everyone consider that 80% of the accidents may attribute of people. Why? Because the people are in the front line. Mainly, you will have the machine, but who's operating the machine? The operator. You will have the designer. You will have the carpenter, the steel fixer, the builder, you name it. So 80% of the incidents are from people. So that's why it is very important. There is a common belief, and this is what I said, that the incident or accident are result of a human error. So many people will tell you at the beginning of the investigation, it is a human error, sir. It's a human error. It's a human error. No, it is not. And we will see now together. Human factor, it is a distinct element that it must be recognized and analyzed effectively. If we analyze, yes, we will say that it is the mistake of the operator. But why this operator had this mistake? Why? What is behind? Did he get his training? Did he have transportation to the site? Did we consider his job matching his individual factors? And so on. We will see. Human factors, issues, indicators at work. How can we know that our project or our organization are affected by some human factors at work or mismatching individual issues and whatever? You will see that the accidents involved and the people will be given that it is a human error. What is the accident? Oh, the reason it is a human error. It's the operator mistake. It is the driver. It is the driver. He didn't. He was playing in his mobile, and so on. Occupational and health reports of mental and physical ill health. We will observe that there is a lot of reports related to mental and physical health, physical ill health. We will have high absence in the project. We will have a lot of people are not coming to work. Why? They are tired, they are overloaded, they work 2 shifts together, and so on. And they are either absent because of sickness, or because they are tired, or they cannot come to the job. High turnover levels, the people are leaving the organization. Low level or change in compliance with health and safety. Behavior or performance issues identified in risk assessment. So all of these are indicators. It will give you indicators that your organization have an issue with the human factors. Complaints from staff about working condition or job. Now, if we talk about consequences, there is two types of consequences related to human failure. We have the active failures and we have the latent failures. The active failures is from the frontline people who are, for example, drivers, control room staff, machine operators, workers, operators on site. So these are the you can see them. They are active and they are in front of you. So you can see how they behave, and immediately the impact on the health and safety will appear. So there is immediate consequences happening. For example, a driver, he lost his let us say conscious, or he lost his I thought, he didn't lost his concentration, for example, and he have an accident. Immediately there is an accident, immediately there is a loss, there is an investigation, and so on. So it is active failure due to the frontline people. We have a latent failure, and this for the people who's behind the desk, for example, management, designers, who were done some decisions in the previous time of the project. For example, there will be a design due to during the design stage, okay, and the mistake happened there, okay. Either it is calculation, for example, either it is extra or less quantity added, so on. So during the construction of this phase, this failure will happen and this problem will appear. So it will not be immediate, but however, it will be more, let us say more, the consequences is more high. Human failure types, and this is the very, let us say, exciting in the human failure, and how the human failure the human failure are two types. First of all, it is either it is violation, and the violation sometimes it is when you do a violation, you are deliberately deviate from the procedure. The second is the human error. The human failure, either it is violation or a human error. And the human error is an action or decision was not intended, which involve in deviation from the accepted procedure. So let us see. The violation is three types. First of all, it is a routine violation, situational, and exceptional. Routine violation, where this violation become like a habit and the people used to do it, so it will become ignored by some, and the people will continue doing this. For example, like entering the project without your safety glass, where the safety glass is a mandatory to enter the site, but because of a lot of people are entering, so the safety or the management, they stop looking at this as important. So the people it will become like a routine violation. Situational violation, the violation is happened due to a serious situation or a specific situation, let us say. So for example, like what? For example, heat stress, and there is one urgent job. So the people was sent to do this urgent job due to a restricted hours, for example. Exceptional job when we do a violation to save something, to make something safe. For example, you have a crane and it is hanged in the air and the load is hanged in the air. So and the crane stuck, for example. So you need to do some work on the crane, but as the procedure, you need to have a permit, and you cannot wait to apply the permit to get it approved and whatever. So this is exceptional violation. Are we okay with this?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Yes.
I need to see thumbs up from the people, so it will give me more. Okay. So the second type of the human failure is the error. And the error, I will open it all. Okay. The error, you have two types. So the error, we agreed. The violation, it is deliberate action on deviation. The error is not, it was an action, a decision or action was not intended, but it involved deviation from accepted standards. Now, a mistake, you will have a mistake or a skill-based error. The mistake have two types. Either it is rule-based mistake or a knowledge-based mistake. The rule-based mistake, the rule-based mistake is occur when our behavior based on remembering roles or familiar with the project, with the procedure, sorry. So rule-based mistake, for example, we are doing something and in our memory, we are doing this by applying the steps 1, 2, 3. But during applying, we apply 3, 2, 1, or it is 3, 2, 1, for example. So we have in mind the way of work, but it is not correct, or it is not in the right order, or it is not in the right size. And however, the knowledge-based based mistake, that the person either it is not experienced or did not receive the correct information, the enough information, the right information, and at the correct time of information. So this is the difference between rule-based, knowledge-based. Rule-based, you reference your the mistake is based on the information that you memorize, you think that you know. The knowledge-based, based on the information that you didn't receive, you have lack of information, you have lack of knowledge, and so on. Skill-based, either it is slip of action or lapse of memory. So slip of action, it is failure to carrying out the action of task, okay? Either performing the action sooner or later, or you did not do it in the right order. So this is a skill base, but you slipped in doing the right in the right order, for example. Lapse, you forget. So you remember that lapse, you forget to carry out an action. You know it, but you forget it. And this is what's happening, let us say, mostly with the people that they have the knowledge, they know the order, they receive the training, but something missed, they lose concentration and they lapse, they forget it. So this is the, let us say, the organization and how we are analyzing the human failure. So it is started with violation or error. The violation is deliberate. The error is not intended. The violation have three types. Either it is routine that the people used to do it and continue to do it. Situation due to some reason, either lack of time, either weather condition, money, stress, whatever, exceptional, you are doing this to save something else. The error, you will have a mistake or skill-based. The mistake, you will have rule-based mistake or knowledge-based. Rule-based is depending on your memory that you are doing the right thing, but you are not. Knowledge-based, you didn't receive enough information. Skill-based, either you slip, you didn't do it in the right order, for example. You omitting a step of a series of steps or a task. You carry out the wrong check on the right item, for example. Lapse, you missed doing something during you are doing that. So these are the types of. Now, incident investigation. If we talk about incident investigation, I believe that a lot of people involved in incident investigation. Ali Ash-Shihdani raised his hand. Ali, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I just wanted, if you don't mind, to go back to the previous slides. There's something so very interesting that I found.
Yes.
And well, based on the experience at times that I usually working in changing the behaviors of drivers, and considered that one among of the scenarios happens. It's just like the driver was well fit enough to drive, and hence being provided with a safe journey management system to follow up, but again on his own decisions, whereby has some of other contributing factors, as per his statement, is just he could not find out any other way. Any signboard were missing during on his trip, so he decided he took a shortcut. But in this one, in this such case of for him to take as a decision of utilizing shortcut and end up with a man loss incident, can this be as a part of mistake or skill-based too?
Actually, this, if you go, and I believe that you done investigation for this incident, correct?
Exactly.
Exactly, and you identified the root cause and what happened, and you are saying that this guy, he, for example, he said that he deliberately do a shortcut, correct?
Exactly.
Exactly, yes. So first of all, it is a violation, yes, and because he did this action with full intention, yes, and he know that it is not allowed, for example, correct?
Exactly.
Yes. I will not give you the final answer, and at the end of the session, because now we will go to the incident investigation and we will start analyzing each of these. And at the end of the session, give me your feedback. Okay? Because you will know better than me, because you are the one who conducted the investigation and you go through all the details, the statements, and whatever. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So let's continue and we will discuss at the end, inshallah. Okay, thank you. So incident investigation. We started, this is just a general one. It is not belongs to any, let us say, standard, but it is a generic and it can be implemented in all the incident investigations. Immediate action, we have, first of all, you will have the immediate action. The immediate action, you will secure the scene. You will take the injured person if there is an injured person. You will extinguish the fire if there is a fire, and so on. And you will start collecting the evidence. You will have the CCTV, for example, footage, and so on. Then you will plan for the investigation. In planning an investigation, you will see who will be involved, where you will do the investigation, and how long it will take the investigation. What tools you need. You will use any of the applications, for example, or tools or So all of this during the planning investigation. Then you will do starting the data collection. You will collect the statements, the related certificates, the people who were involved in the witness statements, equipment documents, permits, and whatever. Then we start doing the data analysis. And in this data analysis, we identify, for example, the sequence of the events, how this incidents happened, the guy entered at that time, he attended the toolbox talk, for example, he go on the elevated area, and so on and so on. So during the data analysis, we put the events, okay, the sequence of the events, we understand before identifying why the incidents happened. And from here, which is the most important, the data analysis, we are identifying the causes of the incident, what happened, and what is the root cause. Then we identify the corrective actions that it is related to each cause of the incident to avoid reoccurrence. And then we have the reporting, documentation, and so on. And I believe everyone in any organization will follow the same, let us say, general procedure about incident investigation. However, the most important in that is the causes. And here, where we are having different definition and different perception about the causes. You have the root cause, and you have underlying causes, and you have the direct cause. The root cause, where is the failing happened? Okay. And what is the most important that it was leading for this incident to happen? Underlying causes, that it is different causes, okay, but it will help that this incident to happen. But without it, the incident also will happen. The direct cause is the most obvious reason, the immediate action that was having this incident. Let me give you one simple, let us say, example about this. For example, you have a product batch is found defective during the process. During the process, you have one of the product batches is defective. So what will be the immediate cause? That the immediate cause, the malfunctioning in the assembly of the line machine, correct? The underlying cause will be the operator were not trained, or he didn't train to handle minor machine faults, for example. But the root cause, we go deeper in the root cause. The machine was not maintained according to the manufacturer recommendation schedule that was leading for the wear and tear. So we have this product is going, and these are the causes that affected that the batch was defective. And this is how we implement the three kinds of causes. Anybody hear about Swiss cheese model? Swiss cheese model represent what we are doing in our life. We put different layers in our life to protect a lot of things in whatever. But sometimes incident happened. For example, you have in your area, you have, as soon the worker came, he attended induction, so you have the training completed. You have the supervision on site. You have the person wearing his PPE. And in the last layer, you have toolbox talk was done on that morning, for example. He received his medical check, but at the end, or due to some faults in different layers, the accident had his way, and it was hazard become an incident or a consequences. So the different layers of protection, and this model is used differently, widely also in IT, computer, cybersecurity, and so on, because you will have a lot of defense to avoid any breaches. Taproot investigation. Did anybody involved in taproot investigation? Taproot investigation, one of the very good tools that we use in investigation. And in this taproot investigation, you will have a tree, okay, different questions. And when you will have you will identify all the casual factors that lead to that incident, okay? And you will identify each and every casual factor that happened. So for example, you choose the first one, and from here on the tree, why this casual factor happened? Either it is other natural disaster, sabotage, equipment difficulties, or human performance difficulty. Usually, if it is equipment difficulty, you will go through this table here. Yes. So if it is design issue, so either it is design specifics or design review. If it is design specification, sorry, specification need improvement, design not to the specification, for example. This is if it is related only to the equipment. If it goes to human failure, human difficulties, it will take you to this page. It will go to individual, and it will start asking you questions. Then it will go to the team, and will start talking about and asking questions about the team. Then it will ask about the management. And in each answer, you will say that, for example, yes or no. And if it is yes, if it is a work direction or a human engineering. So you'll identify these basic cause categories. Then you will move to the other page, that one. For example, we identified the human engineering. The human engineering is here. So it is a human machine, work environment, complex system, and not fault tolerated system. And from this, you will identify this cause that you find in the beginning here, where it reach to what? What is the reason exactly for this cause, why it has happened? So the taproot investigation, it will go deeper and it will analyze each cause, why it has happened, and it will identify you at the end the reason, and from there you will identify your corrective action. That's the beauty of the taproot actually, and it is software, so you can either use it on software or you can use it on. One time we used this. First of all, you need to put the sequence of events, okay, and then on the sequence of events you will identify the causes, and from each cause you will start having this analyzing. Now we have the corrective action and preventive actions, and what is the difference between them. And then actually usually we are trying to implement more preventive action, but to be more specific in this, The preventive action, it is more proactive, more sustainable. However, whatever is written here, it is more sustainable, more proactive. Whenever you have an incident, think about, yes, the corrective action is okay, but also think about the preventive action, because you need to prevent this to happen again, not only to correct it. So have it in place, prevent it, look for it, and look for sustainability for preventing. Investigation, if we do investigation, and if we will connect this to our human failure and the human error, and when we say that the human factors is three: the job, individual, and organization. Now, in the job, we will see that there is illogical design of equipment, constant distribution and interruption. These are the root causes that it is related to the job: missing on unclear instruction, poorly maintained equipment, high workload. When we say about overloaded, noisy, unpleasant working condition. When we are talking about individual, we are saying about low skills and competence level, tired staff, bored or disheartened staff, individual medical problems. We mentioned that it is a personality issues, it is a habits, uh, attitude. So all of these related, this is the root causes that it is related to individual. Organization, poor planning leading to high work pressure, lack of safety system and barriers, inadequate response to previous incidents. And this is actually happening, that, and this is the reason why incidents are occurring several times. And poor management of health and safety, poor health and safety culture. Human failure mitigations. You remember when we start with the violation, there are three types of violation: situation and exceptional, and routine, situational and exceptional. So the first, if you want to mitigate these, for example, if you have a routine violation, you have to dedicate a violation mentoring. Sayed, can you mute yours? Thank you, Sayed. So if it is a routine violation, these are some advice on how to mitigate. If it is a situational, and if it is exceptional. And I want to discuss only the exceptional that you are doing something because either you have an emergency or unsafe condition and you want to save the situation. So for this, you need to provide people with more training for abnormal emergency situation. You need to improve the risk assessment process that you are doing for the project. And you need to reduce time pressure on staff to act quickly on novel situations. So these are some mitigation related to each type of the violation. And for example, the same we are doing also for some mitigation related to the errors, the types of errors that we have identified earlier. Either it is rule-based, so adequate workplace precautions, knowledge-based, you need to consider the design and ensure proper supervision. The labs, you need to minimize the distraction and the interruption. If you have people are continually interrupted, so for sure the people will have labs and memory issues. Slips, work environment and design of equipment. Do you have, I believe that a lot of people hear about Piper Alpha. And I believe that last 2 or 3 months ago, we received here one of the survivors of Piper Alpha here in Qatar under the Vibrant event. And he talked about what happened there in Piper Alpha. And it is very unique and catastrophic, let us say, incident that happened, where 167 people died in that situation. Why I put it here to ensure to look at that the situation is not one person, not one mistake was leading to this catastrophe. It is a chain of events, a chain of commands, involve people, management. So it is a maintenance error that eventually lead to the leak was the result of inexperience, poor maintenance, procedure, poor learning by the organization. So it is not one person mistake, it is a lot of involvement, different personality, different people, organization factor, individual factor, job factor, all involved in this and created this catastrophe. There was a breakdown in communication, safety procedure, and so on. Now, let's go to see how is the future is treating us. Human factor and artificial intelligence. Nowadays, a lot of people are using ChatGPT, for example. A lot of people are using different kinds of AI softwares and applications and websites. And that is very, very useful. And I really also support the smart work than the long time working, okay? So, for example, there is one company called EWI. What they are doing, you will do the job, and you will record that video. Then you will upload the video on the dashboard here, okay? Then the software will identify for you, okay, the posture analysis and the personalized recommendations. So it will show in colors how you are standing, and it will give you some colors. If it is red, so that means that your ergonomic is not correct and you are not working in the right position, you are not following the proper posture, and so on. And this can be used for training, can be used for management meetings. So it is very useful. Another kind of AI is Miclogy Limited. This is a company, Chinese company, Korean, I'm not sure really, but it have different kind of control on, for example, in your project. And it is started by face recognition, safety validation, equipment tracking, real-time monitoring. How it works, for example, face recognition, either you finish the training for your guy, you will send his photo to the system. So before he entered to the project, if the face recognized by the camera, it will open and he will come. If not, it will not allow him to enter the project, for example. Safety validation, this will look for the PPE required. You are looking in your project that the people, everybody to wear a harness. If he's not wearing a harness, the camera will identify that and it will not allow him to enter, for example. Equipment tracking, it will track the equipment, for example, the distance between man-machine interface, for example, if the machine have any malfunctioning, so it will track and it will send a message to the, for example, the supervisor, the PMD manager, and so on. Then you will have real-time monitoring. And this one is either it is live videos are ongoing, or it is programmed that if any violation or error, or it will send a notification to some selected personnel that this man is working in this condition. And it is very well, let us say, the technology is there. There is a limit and there is a possibility for mistakes, but there is always room for improvement. So that's one of them. There is another company called Protex, and it works with your camera system on your organization. So, for example, you plug the processing box to the local network. Then you build your roles in for this. So, for example, you will mention that the distance allowed is only half 1 meter, for example. If it is less than meter, it will give alert. Okay. And then it will digest and filter the events. It will make a report and dashboard, and it will also create corrective actions and proposed corrective and preventive actions that it can be used for the project. So these are some kinds of human factors, and I put all the references so you can have human factor design, relationship, and managing the influence. The human factors, it can be reduced through design. I will go through this very quick. I think we are. So first of all, it is about the ergonomic design, mental well-being, writing a procedure, design warning for maximum effect, and human reliability assessment. It's same like a risk assessment. You are doing this human reliability assessment to identify and benchmark the safety cases to enable comparison of alternative designs. Very important in this design is to look at the warning that it is mentioned here, that these warnings will avoid or will prevent some errors, slips during the operators are doing their jobs. If we are looking how we will manage the influence of people performance, we are looking about 4 items, that it is the fatigue, communication, risk perception, and health and safety culture in the organization. Fatigue and shift work, we are aware about it. Communication, it is very important that the people receive the right information, the correct information, clear information in their language so they can do the job. Risk perception, and it is very important thing, that people are not seeing the risk in the same way. So different people, different perceptions. So this is what we are looking at. Now, I believe that by this, I conclude the human factors and also the investigation related to the human factors. And I have some challenges now. And I need some people to answer and give me their feedback. Are we ready with this? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Questions will be the type of error that you think that it is related to this. So we have the first one, that 2 similarly named chemical were manufactured at the chemical work in batch reaction. Each required the presence of an organic base to maintain alkalinity to prevent exothermic side reaction. Development work was in progress, which involved altering the various ratio of chemical in each reaction. A chemist, please consider this one. A chemist, in calculating the quantities of inorganic base required, inadvertently transport the figures, a typical slip. As a result of one reaction was carried out with only 70% of the required base present. So what do you think this kind of human failure that happened? Is it violation or error?
It's an error.
Error. So what type of error
Error.
can be? You can, gents, you can, ladies and gents, you can unmute yourself and talk. Anybody? A chemist, in calculating the quantities of organic base required inadvertently transposed the figures, a typical slip. So this one is, yes, it is error, skilled base error, and he slipped. He did not, he slipped during the calculation. So that was the error. It is not intentional, but he slipped. A second one, an operator was very familiar with the task of filling a tank. He expected the filling procedure to take 30 minutes. However, However, on this occasion, the diameter of the pipe entering the tank had been enlarged and the tank was filling much more rapidly than anticipated. He ignored the high-level alarm on the ground that the tank could not fill so quickly, but the tank overfilled. This guy, he based his action on the knowledge that he have, and he know that it will take 30 minutes. So it is rule based because the behavior based on remembered rules or familiar procedure. But he didn't know that the diameter of the pipe was changed, so that was the error happened. Before the accident of Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a series of tests were being undertaken. When an operator failure lead to dangerously low power level, the test should have been abandoned. Operator and engineer continued to improvise in an unfamiliar and increasingly unstable regime to protect the test plan. So what do you think? Is it error or violation?
It's a violation.
It's the violation.
Violation.
Violation, huh? And it is, what do you think? It is it is routine, situation, or exceptional?
Exceptional.
It's a situation.
No, it's a routine because yeah.
Why Saddam routine?
Because the engineer and the operator they're doing this with this engineer.
Mm-hmm. Actually, they want to save the test, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the reason they done that. Yes, it is deliberate, but they want to do something to save the test. So operator continue to improvise in unfamiliar and increasingly unstable regime to protect the test plan. It is a little bit difficult, I know, but sometimes with practice and like that, it will be nice actually. A man was killed while removing the lid of the 45-gallon drum using a burning torch. He had not been told that the drum contained flammable residues. The drum exploded when heat was applied. So what do you think this guy, that he was not receiving enough information? So it is violation or error, first of all?
It's an error.
It's
Error.
a knowledge-based error.
Okay, error. So is it a mistake or a slip?
It's a knowledge-based error.
Knowledge-based. Correct. Thank you very much. Who said that? Because that guy was not told that the drum contained flammable residues. If he was told and he did it, or different kind of story, that will be incorrect. Now, the inquiry into the club farm rail crash found that maintenance working practice has degraded to the point where it had become routine not to use the prescribed method for certain tasks. Poor supervision and problem with training and testing meant that this situation was allowed to persist. In a study of the Dutch railway, 80% of the workforce considered that the rule were mainly concerned with pinning plane, while 95% thought that work could not be finished on time if all rules were followed. So what do you think this one? Error or violation?
It's
This is a violation.
Violation.
in violation.
What kind? You have
It's a
routine,
routine.
Routine violation.
routine. Yes,
In violation.
because it was said degrade to the point where it had become a routine not to use the method. Thank you very much. 6. The investigation following a major collapse of a tunnel found that the organization had railed on the experience of one person as a control measure. However, the nature of the method of working meant that this person had no reliable instrumentation for detecting when the tunnel was become unstable. Relying on experience was actually relying on knowledge-based reasoning of the expert and was not an effective control method to prevent serious collapse given the unpredictable nature of the event. The expert needed more reliable instruments to carry out this work. What do you think this error? It is a violation or error? Failure.
It's a failure.
It's an error.
What is failure? Is error or violation?
Error.
Error. And is it what? Slip, lapse, rule-based, knowledge-based?
Knowledge-based.
Knowledge-based.
It's a knowledge base.
Knowledge-based. Because it depends on one person. And that person is not, he don't have the knowledge. He's not an experience and he did not receive the correct information. 7. An experienced road tanker driver had virtually completed the filling of his vehicle from a bulk tank of flammable liquid when a nearby telephone rang. After ignoring it for some 5 minutes, he closed the various valves on the installation and went to answer it. On returning to the valve, he drove away, having forgotten that he had not disconnected the tank hose from the installation. What do you think this one? Violation or error?
Error.
This is an error.
Error. And
Lapse
what
of memory. Lapses of memory.
Lapse.
Yes, exactly. Agreed.
was correct? He was distracted by the phone, first of all, and then he forget that he should close that valve. Contamination of beach near nuclear reprocessing plant occurred partially from a failure communication between two shifts. One shift presumed that a particular tank only contained aqueous layer, when in fact it is also contained floating radioactive solids, which they presumed they had been removed earlier. So, the result was that these solids were inadvertently pumped to the sea tanks along with the aqueous layer. What do you think?
Violation situation.
Violation.
It's violation situation.
Violation or error?
Violation.
Violation. Okay, others?
Situation.
Violation.
No?
It's a mistake because the people were not aware, and it is knowledge-based mistake because they thought they were not aware. See here, in communication between the two shifts, one shift presumed that the particular tank only contained aqueous layer, when in fact it was containing floating radioactive solids. The last one, I believe. A steel erector was killed when he fell 20 meters from a structure under erection. Although harness was provided, there was no provision for fixing them, and there were no other safeguard available. What do you think?
This is an error.
I
Okay.
think it's violation.
Violation. Okay.
It's an error.
Okay. Others? Actually, it is a situational violation.
Thank you.
Because who said thank you? Ali?
Yeah.
Give your justification. What do you think?
Okay. First of all, I would just consider it as a violation because he went against the safety culture. Okay, and to ensure that working performance, the way he performed the work, it was against completely approval process, like having a permit to work on this such kind of things, and he just did it in an unsafe situations, whereby he went against completely the safety procedures.
The harness was provided, but there was no provision for fixing them or no other safeguards.
Exactly.
I beg to disagree.
So he continued to work, okay, without these things. So he violated the procedure that he doesn't have the 100% tie-off, for example.
I beg to disagree because if the harness was even there was nowhere to hook it.
Exactly, yes. Patrick speaking, yes?
Yes.
Okay, Patrick, if you feel the same, if you've been in the same situation and you don't have somewhere to hook and you will continue work, are you violating the procedure?
If you continue to work, yes, you are violating the procedure. If you continue to work, you're not supposed to continue if you have the harness and there's nowhere to hook it.
Exactly. That's the story behind that.
Okay.
This guy continue working, knowing that there is no place to hook. So he continues. So he violate situationally.
Can we just call it also as a part of economic violation?
Yes, also. Consider. Sure. I have just a conclusion here. And the most important that I want to say about that, yes, failures happen, and sometimes it is active or latent. The main issue is that we need to analyze the data and all the causal factors that it is identified during the investigation to identify each factor, each cause, what is behind and why it has happened. Okay, the disciplinary action is not always the correct way. If you have someone violate the procedure, unfortunately, in some organization, fire him, get rid of him, whatever. But it is not the right action sometimes. Because why this guy violate the procedure? Yes, we identify, for example, it is a situational violation. It is deliberate, yes. But did he receive then the training, for example? There was a supervision in place. There was a management to ensure that there is safety culture. There was no circumstances that led this guy to finish the work, and a lot of this. Okay, so please, just as a conclusion, take it. Each case, try to investigate as much as you can. Try to find out what is the root cause that this happened. Yes, you will find that it is a human error. Go behind why it is a human error, why this happened, and why this happened, and why. What contribute to this? And you will find that there is some lapses and some failure in the system. In the system, there is a failure, and that why contribute to the human failure. The human failure is not only because of one person deliberate or not intended to do. No, either there is a management at the back, there is a system, there is organization, there is a job, and there is individual. So by this one, I conclude. I put some references, and the most important to read about the human failure is the HSE influence, human behavior and influence. That's the most important thing. And at the end, please, if you can scan this feedback and give me your feedback. This feedback, it will take you to one Google form, and you can just within 1 minute you can give your feedback. And the second one, you can reach me on this QR code through WhatsApp and through LinkedIn. And for any questions or any clarification, are we still have time, Leo? I think that I talk too much.
It's okay. Yeah, you still have do you still have additional thing to inject?
Any questions?
Yes, let me come in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this issue of human error is kind of an area which has been a little bit gray for me. So I find it sometimes very confusing. We are talking about human error, and then we talk about the organizational factors and the job factors. I was at the back of my mind thinking that if we are saying something about human error, it should concern the individual. So how is the job, which is not an individual, is playing a role with the human error? Something like that. If you can just, thank you.
Thank you, Sho. If I get you correctly, yes, there is. When we start our presentation, we mentioned about the human failure, and the human failure. There is a factor for the human failure, 3 factor, which is the job, individual, and the organization. And when we analyze the human factor, it is either a human error or a violation. Okay. When the individual are committing a violation or error, okay, we analyze this to see why did he do that, correct? Because it is not the correct way to blame someone, or it is the operator mistake, and you don't see why did the operator had this mistake. Is it error? Is it based error mistake? Is it lapse? Is it whatever? So when we identify what type of a human failure, either it is error or violation, what type of error happened, we can find out how it is related to the organization that he's working with. Did the organization provide the proper training, the proper supervision, the medical fitness, the camp, the time, the fatigue, and so on? Did the job is matching with this guy mentally, physically, he's overloaded, and so on? That's why it is all connected together. Did I answer your question, Sho?
Yeah. You did, sir. Thank you very much. And
Thank
then, sir, one more thing. Really, I find these questions at the end of the session that you gave very, very informative. I don't know if you can share a link that we can practice more, because the area of human error is a little bit difficult to really grab it. So with
If you
such
want,
practice, we
if you want,
can get understanding.
this is the most important reference. This one, HSG 48, and it is a free. You can find it on the Google. Just download it, because all of these questions are from this book. Okay, actually, I was trying to avoid that, to do anything or to write anything without a reference, actually, because this is very important and very critical. So if you go to this HSG 48, second edition, published in, you will find it there. All you will find it there about human error.
Thank you.
And also the material will be uploaded. Mr. Saif will send it to Julie or to me, and it will be uploaded very soon.
Sure.
Hopefully within the week it will be uploaded, and it will be available for you to access.
Sure. Any other questions?
Yes, please. Shukran jazilan, Saif. Thank you very much again. It was a really insightful sessions. I learned a lot, to be honest, and much appreciating to the material being shared. Interesting part was AI play huge roles nowadays in human errors. Human factor, sorry. And just to try to think about some other way, like we could not touch base the environmental factors or conditions that could lead to distractions of human errors, which caused a lot of contributing factors like lapse and other things. So I believe that maybe could have more interesting to be considered in the future. And thank you very, very much. I'm really, really happy to join, and I enjoyed the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. Yes, you are correct about maybe the environment or the weather or whatever. However, in the job and in the job factor, where is the physical and mental matching, overloading, and so on. However, yes, it will be considered, inshallah, in the future. Thank you very much, Ali.
Oh, perfect. And please add, I already sent you my request for you in LinkedIn and as well as in WhatsApp. Let's connect furthermore.
Sure.
And appreciating for the webinars as well, to if it could be possible to share with us this presentation, so we can try to distribute this message toward our colleagues and improve the safety culture within the different organization.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Any others?
I think there's no more question. Yep.
Just to confirm that everyone have the feedback, please. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me on this QR code. Back to Leo. Thank you very much, Leo and Julie, for this opportunity. I was really happy to join and work with the IIRSM to do this presentation. You know, when you are doing something, you are learning a lot. So thank you for this opportunity, and looking forward to support more as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Engineer Saif. And just before we close, I would just like to remind those who have not renewed their membership this month, before the end of the month. I believe there's still a a chance to avail of a discount, I believe, for the renewal. So, and also if there's anyone here who's not yet a member of IIRSM, let us know so we can work out on your membership. And it will really be a good opportunity for you to become part of this organization. And it's a historic part of your profession, being a part of this organization for 49 years, which will be turning half a century by next year. So, Engineer Saif, I will send your certificate of appreciation. For the interest of time, I cannot share it in here, but I will because I have just been given the permission to use the 50th anniversary logo, which I will be also embedding in the certificate of appreciation. But anyhow, thank you so much for that. And comrades, thank you for your participation. We had a very good audience tonight. Initially, there were 28 of us who attended this session. So once again, if you are interested to give a bite-sized presentation, let me know in our WhatsApp group, and we will talk about the topic. Even if it will last for only 10 to 15 minutes, we will consider that, especially with your work experience in risk and safety management, especially that the level of learning and the knowledge that is available in our work environment is reaching a greater level. So it's really noteworthy to be sharing information with each other. So once again, thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, from IIRSM UK and from your branch, your attendance is highly appreciated, and let's keep on getting in touch with each other through our WhatsApp group. And if you have any topic that you're interested to contribute for the next meeting, which will be on the 3rd or last week of August by next month. We already have a speaker in the person of Mr. Jacob Stanley. We will finalize things and we will inform you. Once again, guys, good evening. And this is your chairman saying thank you and be safe always. Thank you, Julie.